Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
Oh, there we go.
Good morning or good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Well, thank you for asking. And yourself?
Oh, fine, thank you.
Good. And Mr. is it Gilliland? Need to unmute your device, please, sir. You know, look for a little microphone. There you go.
Yeah, I thought I had already done it.
Okay. All right. So we are here for trial this afternoon on small claims case number is 25S123. We have present Dennis Gilliland, the petitioner, the plaintiff rather, and Uncaged Cycles, the defendant, and we have, where are you? I don't see anybody.
Oh, there we go.
There's one.
Ah,
And
Well,
another. Okay,
yeah.
so we have Leah Holmes
Yes, sir.
and Brady Jensen. Is that correct?
yes,
And who is the lead on this?
That will be Brady, sir.
Okay, so if you could kind of focus the camera on him and Mr. Jensen, how are you related to Uncaged Cycles?
I'm the technician.
Okay. And Miss Holmes, how are you related to Uncaged Cycles?
I am the owner, sir.
You would be the key person that I need to have.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now we've got that figured out. All right. The way that I conduct these trials, plaintiff is going to be going first with his testimony. Mr. Gilliland, as you're going through your testimony, you need to make the assumption that I know nothing about your case.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Which means that you need to paint a very clear picture of what's going on and what your claim is about. Because if I don't understand what your claim is, I can't do anything with this case. All right.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
I have, it looks like some photos from you, as well as some documents. As
Yes,
you're
sir.
going through your testimony, if you are referring to any, and I see that you've got your documents numbered, that's fantastic. As you're going through the documents, if you're referring to them, be sure and make sure that I'm on the same page as you are.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Same with the photos. I see that you have them numbered also, maybe.
Yes.
Looks like. Be sure and make sure that I'm on the same photo that you would be referring to. Once you've had an opportunity to tell your side of the story, I will turn to the defendant. And Ms. Holmes, you will have an opportunity to provide testimony. And I see that you've also submitted some documents for exhibits. Rules apply to you also as far as making sure that we identify any documents that you're referring to so that I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Of course.
And again, it's safe to assume that I don't know anything about the case. So it's important that everybody paint a clear picture for me, okay? If I don't understand something, I will ask a question. I will ask clarifying questions, okay? So with that said, does anybody have any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
No.
Okay, then Mr. Gilliland, you are first. If you would please raise your right hand. Swear to
There.
tell the truth in this proceeding.
Yes, sir.
And if you would please state your full name, spell your last name for the record.
Dennis Keith Gilliland, Gilliland.
Very good. And you may start with your testimony, sir.
Okay. I'll start with pictures one. There's two number ones. They're both of the same part. This is mounted underneath the seat. to be a upper mount for the sidecar. Okay, this piece, number 2, is the
I'm gonna, I'm
side
gonna,
cover
I'm,
that they
I'm gonna,
destroyed.
I'm gonna back you up just a little bit.
Okay,
Tell me what your claim is.
my claim is that they didn't do the job that they were supposed to. They they claimed $5,000 in mounts that they made, and then when I went to pay it, they changed it from mounts to labor. Okay,
Okay.
and they just cheated me. I got the motorcycle back with the sidecar attached, but it was unrideable. It was so wobbly, I couldn't even ride it up my driveway.
Okay. So this was for the installation of a sidecar on a motorcycle. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Okay, so number 1 was the upper mounts. Um, let's see. Number 2, like I said, is the side cover that they ruined because they wouldn't listen to me. Multiple times I told them just order the pre-made mounting from Texas Sidecar. And she kept telling me she has her own manufacturer, yada, 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 and they don't want to get it that way. They had my motorcycle for 3 months and couldn't figure out why it wobbled. They just, I mean, they did a shitty job, excuse my language. Okay. Number 3, this is the parts that basically that I supplied them and that they were trying to say that they built. The one on the top would be the one that they now have was originally for the front upper, and they used it for the rear upper. The next piece is what they cut off to make another one. The third piece down, the long rod, is another piece that was the rear upper on my shovel head, and they made a couple of parts for it. Got this one. Well, I've got all the parts right here. This is
Okay.
what they made. If you can look at the picture, look at me.
Okay.
I've got the thing right here, and they made this little piece here, and they made another one that bolted on this side. It mounted to my engine and to my crash bars. And there was absolutely no need for that because they had the proper mount that I gave them for the upper mount, which would have worked fine. And you wouldn't have had to deal with any of my extra covers that I have up front. Okay, what's number 4? Okay, number 4 is pictures. Number 4, yeah, both number 4s are the pictures of how they mounted it. Where is it? Okay, the black rod, the one with the black rod, they attached to the front, and then the other side, the other picture has it where they attached it to the motor. Now, number 5, very important number 5. It was improperly mounted, and I have all the parts right here. Well, you can see down on the bottom where the black piece comes down, goes over 70 degrees, goes to the bolt. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. That is what they call a Heim joint.
Yeah.
That is meant to be going up and down, not forward and backwards. That's mounted sideways, which would automatically give a bunch of movement to the sidecar because it's improperly mounted. That never should have been like that. The location was fine, but that should have been a completely different angle, Should have been going up and down, not sideways, okay? And that was okay. Where'd it go? I don't have a number on it. Oh, number 7.
What about number 6?
I seem to have misplaced it.
Okay.
Got no light now. Oh, wait a minute. I get the numbers on the back. I do. Number 6. Yes, it was number 6. Okay. That's the rear mount that they made. It's not very much. I've got it right here in my hand too. That's all it is.
Okay.
That's where they got the part they cut off the part of my other one. And this is where they mounted it. Problem is, the mount's too high. That was another problem that caused the motorcycle to move and shimmy. It was a bad location. Should have been down under the exhaust, not over it. Okay, so now we're on number 7, which is, there we go. I cut out the upper front that they made and properly mounted the upper mount for the front on my frame. It's right there. You can see the attachment going to it. And it's mounted right in front of the motor. Okay. Number 8. This is now the proper mounts that I bought from Texas Sidecar. And as you can see, what's that?
I didn't say anything.
Oh,
You go
okay.
ahead.
There's 2 compression bolts. It bolts right onto the bottom frame, gives me both of my bottom mounts. And then you can see in number 8, the other number 8, that it's got one that goes up, gives me the top rear mount, completely avoids any issues with any of my covers. Did not need to, cut up my cover. That was just wrong. And the last one, what's the last one? Oh, I bought a stabilizer after doing the repairs on the shock and everything that they said they couldn't do. They wanted to send my shock to England and for some kind of $600 rebuild. And I told them just cut the mounts, put in a different shock, and be done with it. They wouldn't do that. So when I got it home, I cut off the mounts, I built new mounts, and I put it together. Now you can see now I'm going to the paper. That's not it. I don't have these in order. What am I looking for? Oh, the stabilizer. There's all the parts I bought. What was I going on about? Stabilizer. I rebuilt. I had the hours right here, what it took me. It took me an hour and a half to rebuild the shock. Okay. And to cut the mounts, put new mounts in, put it in place. No problem. I had somebody else make me a new axle for it, so that everything was stable. And it still wouldn't go up the driveway. At that point, I bought the stabilizer because they said that's what needed to be done. Put stabilizer on it. That didn't do anything either. So now I've spent all this money. Right there. I spent $2,000 on page 1. I spent $2,295 and change to buy all the necessary parts to get this done where it was rideable again. What pissed me off most is I'm old. I'm getting up there. I don't like laying on the floor. I got no doors on my shop. That's why I wanted them to do it for me. They didn't do the job. After 3 months, kept it for the entire spring riding season. I was wrong on the date, though. It was at February. Or I mean, May. But they kept it the entire riding season. And I still couldn't ride it when I got it home. I'm not stable on 2 wheels anymore. That's why I wanted 3. So there's that. And then I've got, all those together. That's all the invoices from Texas Sidecar for the different parts I had to get. That's why it was $2,000. Now we're going to this one. They made, instead of, where is it? God, didn't I take that picture? I'll bet they did. I know they did. Let me get their stuff. Anyway, they made a new mount for the top. Cost $600, and it was the sloppiest damn threading job I've ever seen in my life. But there was no sense and no need to be making that big thing when all they had to do was take the one that I've got right here that came with it and extend it. That's all they had to do was make extensions for this one. Would have cost about $100 in all thread, and a little bit of welding. Big deal. They didn't need to give me no $600 part that was unnecessary. And it's right. Where is it? Well, I can't find that picture, but all the same, it was just an extra long rod. Like I say, it was just, instead of this with 5/8 threads that could have been extended, they made one with 3/4 threads that'd hold the damn Caterpillar. They didn't need to make anything that strong for my motorcycle. And okay, what do I do with the rest of my stuff now? Got theirs mixed up with it. Okay. Here we are. Okay, so, and again on page 6, that's where they, just circling and showing what they did, and they changed that 5,000 from labor from parts to labor. I didn't get that copy. My brother had it for a while, but he threw it away because I didn't think I'd need it after a while. Okay, so second page of page 6 might have a different number on it. Nope. That's where they never ordered the parts. I requested them to make it. They just never ordered the parts. Okay. I never had any issues. That reverse gear works excellent. Got no problems with that. Good job, Brady. But that's that's a reasonable cost. I understand that, but I don't see the $6,250 they're charging me for an incomplete job. I mean, they're trying to tell me that they spent that many hours on this thing when they had it for that many months, but they didn't spend those kind of hours on this thing. They did a shitty job, period. And I'm requesting $5,000 of that dollar back, and she added that $5,000 after I cussed her out because I got upset because my best friend just died and they still had his motorcycle that they never got the sidecar on. And then I lost it and cussed her ass out. 2 days later, I've got $5,000 added to my bill. Okay, I think I've gotten my everything covered, unless there's something I missed, sir. Yeah,
Did you get a written estimate for the work prior to beginning work?
I did. Oh, there.
Is that
Guess it-
in your packet of documents?
Their original was, where is it? Where is it? All right, there it is. Number 8. That's their original estimate. And their final was $8,800. So basically, I had to buy the parts and do the work myself, and it only took 4 hours to do 90% of the work. So, what they were doing is beyond me.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
All righty. Then we will hear from the defendants. Ms. Holmes, we'll start with you since you're the owner. If you want to turn it over to Mr. Jensen afterwards for testimony, that's fine.
Okay.
So if you would please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth in this proceeding.
Yes, I do.
And if you would please state your full name, spell your last name for the record.
Leah Marie Holmes, Holmes.
And again, you are the owner of Uncaged Cycles.
Yes, sir, I am.
Is this a sole proprietorship?
Yes, sir.
All right. You can go ahead and start with your testimony and give me some idea of what your position is, and then if you want your technician to testify, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So in the beginning, Mr. Gilliland did come to us with his sidecar and his 2009 Harley Davidson Street Glide. The sidecar was a particular sidecar. It was not attached at the time it arrived here. So it was a what we were given as far as information on what the sidecar was, it was a 1970s Sputnik sidecar. And one thing that we deal with on a daily basis is that nothing is universal. Everything has to be either specifically fitted for that motorcycle, or it has to be fitted or fabricated, customized somehow to fit that motorcycle. And with the frame for the sidecar, it was the mounting areas were completely different than where you would normally mount a sidecar if you had bought it specifically for the 09 Street Glide that he has. If you do that, then it lessens the amount of labor and parts when you have something that's specifically fit for that motorcycle. So I did explain to Mr. Gilliland that in the beginning, we don't know, because this sidecar and frame was not meant for this motorcycle. We were not going to be able to give him an exact estimate on labor or parts, because we didn't know, we will not know until we get into it, what it's going to require. Unfortunately, with custom jobs, it takes a lot, especially for a sidecar, because I used to have one myself. There's a lot of measuring and trial and error, especially if that unit does not fit that specific motorcycle. You have to make sure that the distance and where everything lines up is proper. And we know this because we've spoken to several different sidecar companies that actually manufacture sidecars for Harley Davidsons, and there is specific math that is required to make sure the fitment's correct and you don't have any safety issues, whether it's wobbling or just shimming, or the steering doesn't want to stay straight. Straight. So for that, during this project, yes, we did have it for some time. Part of the issue was coordinating with the welding, the welder that we utilize for fabrication work, because it did, it did need some to make this frame sidecar fit to this bike. And but we did have to go back and forth quite often to make sure our measurements were correct, because our number one goal here is to make sure our clients are always safe on their motorcycle. So there were no parts that weren't necessary that was charged on this bill. There was just labor that, that time when you're working on a motorcycle does go quickly. So, with that being said, we were very honest. We did speak to Mr. Gilliland probably once every couple of weeks, trying to give updates. And when we took the sidecar, we had to actually trailer the sidecar and motorcycle to the welder so he can get correct measurements and do the welding there at his shop. So, it does take time for these type of applications, because this is very custom and very specialized. And with that, I'm gonna just hand it over to Brady.
Mr. Jensen, if you would please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth in this proceeding?
Yes, I do.
You would please state your full name, spell your last name for the record.
Brady Scott Jensen, Jensen.
And you said that you're the technician on this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you have to say, sir?
I just would like to address each one of the items individually.
Okay.
As far as the mounts in pictures one, one of the statements was that he requested that we order the mounts from Texas Sidecar, and then we refused to do so. That's actually completely incorrect. He brought in the mounts from his 70s or early 80s era shovel head motorcycle that the sidecar was previously attached to, and wanted to try to reuse those mounts. We did so as much as we could, but I was in contact with Texas Sidecar throughout the entire project, following their advice, and we did get some parts for them. In particular, that rod that you see in picture one, that is one that we ordered from Texas Sidecar to replace the one that Mr. Gilliland had raised up previously today. If I've no, he could show it again if it needs to be seen. There's an obvious bow in that piece. Together several times, and that piece is critical for vehicle alignment. With that bow in it, one end is threaded left-hand thread, the other end is threaded right-hand thread, and you have to twist that to adjust the toe end of the motorcycle, and also the vertical, how the motorcycle is held vertical. For it to track straight and corner well, you want 1 degree lean out. And with that bow in that rod, as we turn it, that bow would cause it to come close and far apart. So that's why that rod had to be replaced. It was replaced with one from Texas Sidecar. I did have to modify it to get it to fit. The reason why that location was there under that side cover is that for a sidecar to be secure and stable, you want to mount it to the four corners of the motorcycle as far high and low and away from each other as possible. That was the best location for that upper rear mount that we could get. And then as far as picture two, That side cover, he was informed that we would have to modify that side cover. It is a project half finished because Mr. Gilliland stopped the work before the project was done.
Yeah, because you weren't getting it done.
I would like to address that as far as getting it done. It was done other than the wobble, which had been discussed with Mr. Gilliland. The causes for wobble with the sidecar motorcycle is either it needs stiffer shocks. The shock was blown out on the sidecar. There was no.
I replaced it, didn't work.
Okay, well, Mr. Gilliland,
Shut
I
up.
need you to be. They were quiet while you were providing your
Yes, sir.
testimony. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Jensen.
I was saying. The 4 causes for wobble on a motorcycle with the sidecar are stiffer shocks. The shock on the motorcycle was completely blown out, as it was shown to Mr. Gilliland, and it was recommended that we replace it. Another reason for it, a wobble, is steering head tension. That was inspected and adjusted. Everything there was good to go. That was not the cause of it.
Well, that's on the bike itself.
Yes,
Steering.
that's on the motorcycle itself, the neck bearing.
Right.
Another cause is tire pressure. That, of course, was inspected. Everything was good on the tire pressure. Another cause is swing arm bushings. The swing arm bushings of the sidecar itself were blown out, and that was shown to Mr. Gilliland. And everything, when the sidecar left here, everything was great other than the wobble. And we informed Mr. Gilliland that the wobble was due to the sidecar swing arm bushings and that shock that was blown out, and when it needed to be fixed for the motorcycle to be rideable. Redoing the mounts and everything had nothing to do with the problem the bike was experiencing. Picture number 3, nothing really to discuss there. That's just pictures of parts. Some of them are from his old shovel head. Some of them are stuff that we fabricated. Some of it's actually a mix of the old shovel head parts and the new parts that we had fabricated. When we were working with Texas Sidecar, we tried to get just a kit to mount this USSR era Sputnik sidecar to a modern day motorcycle, and they said there's nothing that exists. We would have to custom build one. Mr. Gilliland didn't want to pay that price for that, which you can see they charged him almost $1,200, where we refabricated the mounts and had it mounted to the bike securely for half that price. Or nothing really of note on 4 that I think needs to be addressed. Everything's good there. The second number 4, the one that shows the upper front mount and the torsion bar that holds it securely to get rid of any vibration stuff. The reason for that is because Mr. Gilliland had lower fairings that you can see in our pictures that we took. There it is. It's not numbered, I don't believe, but here you can see in this picture here, well, hopefully you can see it, that there is this lower fairing mounted on the engine guard. In order to avoid getting rid of that lower fairing, that is why we had to take that mount up above and connect it also to the other side to keep it stable. That was the only place to mount it and keep that lower fairing, which Mr. Gilliland said he did want to keep. It was definitely secure. There was no movement there. No reason to redo that mount whatsoever. The one picture number 6 of the vertical heim joint. Mr. Gilliland said that heim joints cannot be mounted vertically, that they have to be horizontal in order to be secure. Texas Sidecar manufactured him a bracket to attach the bike to attach the sidecar to the bike, which has, as you can see on the bottom, not only 1 but 2 mounts that are vertical heim joints.
Exactly.
So yeah, as you can see in number 6, our vertical heim joint, which was said was to be incorrect. That's only
You
1.
got that backwards. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you got that backwards.
It's photo number 5 is the joint mounted below the
Incorrectly.
footrest. And it's mounted vertically or horizontally.
Sorry about the wait. One moment.
All right.
Must be. Where's 5? Okay, number 5. That Heim joint that's mounted vertically. As you can see in picture 4, behind the work that we did, there is a Heim joint on the stabilizing linkage that is actually a factory part. Every single Harley is the same way, with vertical Heim joints or horizontal Heim joints holding the engine in place, both upper and lower on the front of the engine. So the statement that Heim joints cannot be mounted horizontally is absolutely incorrect.
There's no Heim joint up there.
There is a Heim joint right here at the stabilizer linkage behind that black rod I installed. That is a factory stabilizing link. I think I've covered most of everything that I've needed to cover. If there's any other questions for me.
Well, how many hours were put into getting this sidecar installed?
Altogether was 34.47 hours.
And after installation, there was a test run on this.
Correct.
And how did the test run go?
We had to do some fine tuning. As every time you install a sidecar, there's a lot of fine tuning. The toe in has to be done. The lean out has to be done. There's a lot of fine tuning that's done with the test ride. All of that was dialed in and very well, other than the wobble. The wobble was diagnosed as being cause of the sidecar from the 70s, the swing arm bushings being blown out in that, and also the shock, which had no compression or rebound dampening.
And where are the swing arm bushings on this?
Now, there's probably no pictures. It's right in front of the sidecar, the fender, right in front of the fender underneath the frame. And there was nothing wrong with those.
This shows the shock. There's
Shock's bad.
follow that bar up, it takes you right to the swing arm bushings. And there was noticeable play, which was when Mr. Gilliland came to pick up the motorcycle, we moved it around, and you could noticeably see there at that pivot that there was play back and forth.
So the sidecar itself has its own suspension system.
Yes, sir.
Then, okay.
That took me an hour and a half to fix.
We had recommended repairs and was willing to perform the repairs. Mr. Gilliland refused the repairs, stopped work, and removed the bike before it could be completed.
Okay.
They told me they didn't want to do that.
Actually, I recommended that we purchase a Blitzstein shock, which is manufactured in Germany, and it would almost mount up with the existing mounts. We would have had to modify them slightly and then just rebush the swing arm.
Actually, a swing arm just needed a better axle.
And you replace the axle, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I had it machine cut.
Know a little bit about motorcycles, don't know a whole lot about sidecars. So
That's why, I mean, I've got all the parts right here. I could show to you, but
well, okay. All right. So sounds like the major complaint was the wobbliness of the sidecar.
and I did those repairs that they said would fix it, and that didn't fix it. But putting in the mount from Texas Sidecar that sits on a shelf until somebody buys it. You know, there's no way that Texas Sidecar told them that they can't do that.
And
because
hang on, which mount are you referring to?
I'm referring to the one that cost me $1,250.
Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. Which mount is it that you're
It's
referring
the
to?
picture number, and again, I'm in the dark. I think it's like 7 or 8. No, no, no. Where's the there? They are. Okay, we got
Got a picture number 8.
here. Yep, actually, 8 is the one. 8, and there's 2 picture number 8s.
Okay, and
as you can
this
see,
is after you took it apart, correct?
I took that crap off that they did because it was causing problems.
Okay, and what is it
I
that you
bought this.
replaced?
It moved the mounts from up above by the mount that they had was up here under the or on my rear footrest, which
Okay,
is above the exhaust and too high, and that's where all the wobble was coming from. And now that I've bought this from Texas Sidecar and put in the proper mounts pre-made.
okay. The mount that I'm looking at in your picture number 8.
Yes.
There's a vertical mount that's running on the back
There's
side
one
of the
that runs
floorboard.
horizontally underneath the exhaust, and then the one that runs vertical is in the second picture. And
Okay.
yeah, and
Is
that just bolts right up to the one to the foot peg and one under the seat. I mean, that was simple.
and is that from Texas Sidecar, or is that
Yes, sir.
from?
And that avoids all of my covers. So that, they just, I told them if they can't make the old ones work, get the one from Texas Sidecar. They never gave me any information unless I called. They called me once in 3 months. I called them the rest of the time, and never said anything about extra costs. They said it might cost extra, but they never put a price on it. And right in their paperwork says they can't charge more than 20% without my permission. I didn't give them no permission to go over.
Do you have a picture of the mount that was installed by the defendant?
This one?
No, the vertical mount that you're saying you replaced.
Oh, that one. That was just a simple clamp. I bought an extra one online for $50. That was in picture like 1 or 2, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at photo number 8.
Photo number 8. That the top
And
of that.
you're saying that you replaced that vertical mount.
No, this vertical mount is the one that I put in.
That's what I said.
That gives me the upper right, and
Okay.
it's bolted
Right.
into the lower.
Do you have a photo of the mount that they installed
Yes, I do.
that you replaced?
That I replaced. That was the one that they had to.
And do I have that photo?
Yes, you do.
Which number is it?
It's got to be over here. Okay, if you look at number 3 with all the parts, it's the one on the top.
But these are parts laying on the floor.
Right, but the one I took off the bike is the one on the top. And it was mounted. I'm sure I've got a picture of where it was mounted. I know I've got a picture of where it was mounted. There we go. Number 1.
Okay, that's not the same. That's not the same.
I believe, sir, you might be asking about the mounts in picture 5, the front lower mount.
Is that the one you're asking about?
No. He's saying that. No. Photo 8. It's a side. It's a photo of the side of the motorcycle.
Correct.
We've got the engine, we've got the exhaust pipes, we've got the footrest, and immediately behind the footrest there is a mounting bracket
Correct. That's
that
part of the what I got from
mounts.
Texas Sidecar.
Okay, I want
That
to know.
has the upper on it.
Listen to what I'm asking.
Okay.
Do you have a photo of the mount that they installed that you replaced with this piece?
Number
What?
one.
Number one. Okay, that's not the same as number one. No,
No.
that's not number one.
The number one is the one that I took off. That was the rear upper mount. Okay. And now the rear upper mount is on this vertical bar. Gets it farther away from the motorcycle, more room. The bottom ones are set up for very low, like they're supposed to be.
Okay, got it. And Mr. Gilliland, just to confirm, you provided the mounting brackets and so forth
That
to be used to mount the sidecar.
I told them that they probably wouldn't work, but they attempted to use them anyway. And I said, if they don't work, just get the one from Texas Sidecar. Be done with it.
Okay. And your complaint is the number of hours that they
The number of hours, the
put into
incomplete
it.
job.
Okay. All right. All right. I've heard enough. All right. So here's my findings on this. I do understand the concept of custom installation of things. There's anytime that you're trying to do a custom installation where parts are being provided, parts are being made, so on and so forth. There is a number of a lot of time put into it. You can put hours and hours and hours into something and it not turn out the way that you want it. But when you're hiring somebody to do something, they're going to put the hours in with the expectation that they're going to be paid. And Mr. Gilliland, you said that the estimate couldn't be increased more than 20% without authorization.
That's right.
Where is that on the
That
estimate?
is on, let's see, which one's it's got to be on this one.
Yeah, I've got an estimate only. It's dated March 5 of 2025. Total estimate
I may
was
not have given you
$4,189.
right. And it's got to be on that same page.
Can you point it out to me? Because I don't see it.
I'm trying to find it. Where'd it go? Okay. I don't know if you have this one. It's the second page of page 8. Did I give you both pages?
Nope.
Okay, well, right here, estimate and approval policy. The provided estimate is an approximation of costs. And additional parts or labor exceeding 20% of the original estimate are required. Uncaged Cycles will make every effort to obtain customer approval. It's right there.
I don't have that page.
Now can you see it? I got it right here.
I can't read. I've got a little tiny screen with
Okay, I understand. It's there.
That's why you submit documents.
Yeah, well, I
All right.
never even thought of that one.
Okay.
That's my bad.
All right. This was a custom installation. I'm sorry you didn't like the way that it was installed. They tried to install it with the pieces and parts that you provided off of a prior installation on a different motorcycle and I'm assuming also a different sidecar.
Nope. Same sidecar.
They give you an estimate. They don't know exactly the number of hours that are going to be put into to do this. Their explanation for the wobble is a perfectly logical explanation. If you had to replace an axle, you replaced or repaired
Shock.
a shock absorber on the sidecar. Sounds like the suspension of the sidecar itself was bad, which is going to cause it to wobble. So I am going to find in favor of the defendant on this. Again, the dollar amount, it was a custom job. It was a custom installation.
It wasn't custom. They just didn't
Well,
want to do what I asked. They wouldn't do anything that I asked them to do.
Okay. I believe that it was a custom installation and they tried to install according to what was provided to them. And so I am going to be finding in favor of the defendant. Now, Mr. Gilliland, because we've gone through a trial, all right, and I'm finding in favor of the defendant, you have a right to appeal my decision. Okay. If you wish to appeal my decision, you need to file a notice of appeal with the Cowlitz County District Court Clerk's Office within 30 days of today's date. Okay. That appeal will go to the Cowlitz County Superior Court, and a judge over at the Superior Court will review this hearing. They will review the testimony from both parties. They will look at all of the evidence that's been provided and decide whether or not I am correct in my assessment. Okay? So that is my decision.
Okay.
We will be sending out copies of the judgment on this case. And again, Mr. Gilliland, if I know you disagree with my decision, that's what the appeal process is about.
Yep,
okay?
sir.
So please do that. I always urge people, if they strongly feel that I'm incorrect, to do the appeal. Okay? And I
Yeah.
will be notified if I am overturned. Okay?
Okay.
All righty. Thank you very much, both parties, for participating today. You may log out, and I hope everybody has a good afternoon.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.